Hello children, today I am going to start with a new topic, Hindu Revival Movement. Before moving on to Hindu Revival, I would like to recall your memory into previous session in very shortly. Can you all give a summary to what we learned so far? Yes? After British conquered the whole country in 1815, they quickly started their work in Sri Lanka to reach out their goals. As a result of that, missionary organizations were invited to arrive in Sri Lanka by British government to initiate the missionary work as soon as possible. They converted many Buddhist, Hindu and Muslim people into Christianity without any obstacles through their missionary activities. Meanwhile, the leaders of Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim religions saw the danger and started to take measures to protect their religious traditions, culture and values. So they paid their attention on religious and cultural renaissance in the country. Under that, there were 3 different religious revival movements took place in the country. Right. Now, tell me y'all, what would be the religious revival movements? Can you name them please? Yes? They were Buddhist revival movement, Hindu revival movement, finally Islamic revival movement. We have already discussed in the last week about Buddhist revival movement. Yes, children, I hope each one of you all can remember what we discussed in the last week. Can anybody give me the main topics under the title Buddhist Revival? Yes? Main topics under the topic of Buddhist Revival? Okay, I will rush to the main points. We discuss the significant features of the Buddhist revival first, namely establishment of pirivenas, establishment of dresses and using printed materials, conducting debates, establishment of Buddhist schools, and finally taking steps to protect the local culture. Other than that, we learn about the most important characters, including bhikkhus and the laymen who gave their fullest support to success the Buddhist revival movement in each side. Now, can you all remember them? Yes? Can anybody give me an answer? Yes, they were Venerable Migettu Attegunananda Thero, Venerable Hikkaduwe Sri Sumangala Thero, Anagarika Dharmapala, Sir Henry Steele Olcott. Right. Now, today we step out further into Hindu revival movement and the Islamic revival movement. Right. First, let me go for Hindu revival. In Jaffna, the missionary activities were so strong done by the American missionary organizations. Now, can you all remember American missionary organization? What they had done? Can you all remember the other missionary organizations? What was the specialty of American missionary organization? American missionary organization had done their work well in Jaffna Peninsula area. Right. This American missionary organization affected the Hindu religion as well as the education. The customs and rituals connected with Hinduism were neglected. The course of action taken by the Hindu leaders to solve that problem about Hindu revival in Sri Lanka. Now, tell me, according to your knowledge, or as you heard about before, who was the pioneer person in the Hindu revival movement? Yes? May I know the answer from you all? Yes? Arumuga Navala was the pioneer person. His ambition was to revive the Hindu religious and the traditional heritage of the Tamils. To do that, what were the steps he had taken prominently? Yes? Can anybody give me an answer? Yes, I will let you know. The main objective was to revive the religion. He first held classes in his home for children of Hindu families. He started a school by the name of Saiva Prakasha Vidyasale to teach in the Tamil medium. The children were taught to respect Hindu tradition, and this school served as a center for Tamil language teaching as well as a center for Hindu cultural revival. When it comes to the writings of Arumuga Navala, there were many publications. Do you have any idea about them? About his publications? Yes? Yes? Right. Pala Padam, a textbook which became very popular among Tamil students, and many books he had published. Right. He had established his own printing press. He realized the value of writing and distribution of books for religious purposes and cultural revival. Now, this is very important point that you should keep in your mind. Arumuga Navala realized that rejecting English would not support him to achieve the target. Right? Therefore, he started an English school to provide an opportunity for Tamil students to learn English. Later, Sri Ponnambalam Ramanathan, Ponnambalam Arunachalam got involved in the Hindu religious, educational and cultural renaissance work. They also built the leading educational institutions, for example, Parameshwara College and Ramanathan College. Right. It is also very significant. The Islamic revival too took place at the same time as the religious revival of Buddhism and Hinduism. Right? Now we are moving on to Islamic revival movement in Sri Lanka. Right? Yes. Now, can anybody give an idea about the leadership in this revival activities? Yes? Who was the leader of the Islamic revival movement? Yes, I will give the answer. Siddhi Lebbe was that person who led the Islamic revival movement in Sri Lanka. Right. If we talk about a few outstanding activities undertaken by Siddhi Lebbe, those can be listed out like this. He started a special school for females in Kandy with the intention of avoiding the difficulties faced by Muslim ladies in getting their education. While some countries, especially some Arabic countries, totally avoid the female education. He established madrasa schools to teach religion. Now, what is madrasa schools? They were same as Buddhist Dhamma schools or Sunday schools, Dhampasana. He was the founder of Sahira College and he started publishing newspapers, namely The Muslim Nation and Jnana Pradeepam. Right. Now we have come to the end of the whole lesson. Before I wind up the lesson, there should be one thing you all must keep remember in your mind. If you compare Hindu and Islamic revivals with Buddhist revival, both Hindus and Islamic leaders paid much attention on English language while considering their mother tongue. But we can understand. Actually, they were far-sighted than Buddhist leaders. Buddhist leaders paid much their attention on mother tongue. Rest of the effort went to the English language. They did not give much priority to the English language like Hindus and Muslims. So then, you can see the result today. When you compare Buddhist people with Hindus and Muslims, you can see the big difference among them. Both Hindus and Muslims can manage English language very well than Sinhalese. Especially, you can see the Jaffna Hindus. Right. Now, please write down the note and answer the assignment. Until we meet again with the new lesson, have a nice day.